Nacho man, yeah. I got to be a Nacho man. To be a Nacho man. I got to be a Nacho man.
Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness, and this is my first Fallout 4 tour of any kind in, a long time. I think the last one that I did was my Dance Dance Revolution build here at Starlight, and that was really cool. I was really proud of it. It had a screen that flashed arrows in a random order, and you had to step on the correct pressure plates in order to score points, and if you scored enough points, you would win tickets. I was really proud of how that came out. It's probably my magnum opus when it comes to electronics builds, and I would encourage you to check that out if you haven't seen it. I will leave a link to that video in the end card. But what are we doing today? Well, this is my character Mary from my Fallout 4 No Loot Challenge run. If you haven't seen it, or if you haven't been following it, it's an ongoing series that we are not allowed to loot anything out of the world with the A button. We can't pick anything up or take anything out of a container and put it into our character's inventory. The only real exception of note is crops, and that is explained much more fully in that series. This build today is probably not something that would be in character for Mary. She is a lawyer and a mother and a wife and not necessarily an engineer. But I just really was getting the itch to build something, and I had just unlocked the robot workbench, and so I wanted to build myself a robotics work center. And it kind of got a little out of hand. That's all right. We got a bunch of cool gadgets in here that we're going to take a look at. And it also used up an awful lot of my resources. But that's actually, I think, good news, because things were starting to get maybe just a little bit too easy for a challenge run. I like the way that the overall building kind of turned out. It is asymmetric and has, a lot of bulges and detail and things to look at all around. So, yeah, this is kind of what it looks like from the outside. And as I said,
Human say, got your back.
Thank you very much, Strong. This is how the outside looks. I do have a big junk pile over here because I thought, if we're going to be building robots and, trying to salvage equipment to build robots, we're going to need all the pieces of steel and things with vacuum tubes and circuits and anything else that we kind of get our hands on in order to make robots and make robot modifications. So, yeah, just got ourselves a little junk pile on the outside. I am kind of pleased that the dogs seem to be behaving themselves. This is a junkyard dog that we know is female from the encounter where we bought her from a random guy out in the Wasteland, and so I've named her Rosie, and she's got her own little doghouse, and Dogmeat has also got his own doghouse, and so far they have actually seemed to be assigned each to their own and don't swap back and forth. So I thought that was kind of cool. Up here we've got our bell to summon our settlers if we want to. Over here I have my armor workbench. I always feel like this should be kind of at least in a well-ventilated area, if not just outside, because we do have a bucket of coals here, and putting this inside of an enclosed room seems like it might be a bad idea. Things are looking a little dim in here, and that's Okay, I've got a solution for that. Now, two mods that I want to mention. First, electronics. Electronics has a set of insulated connectors. That means that they don't throw off power fields like the normal connectors from the game. It means that lights, for example, don't turn on when they're placed near connectors from the electronics mod. So that's why this says a large insulated power pylon. I've got this here as a master disconnect for the entire building. The generator here, by the way, is also just a little too small for this build, but I didn't think that it looked right to have multiples, so I've got a couple smaller generators that are hidden using place anywhere inside that foundation to generate all the power that I need. I digress. The other mod that I used is called OCDecorator. I'm sure many of you that are familiar with building in Fallout are familiar with that. That was necessary because I could not do junk decoration with this character without breaking my own rules. So I couldn't, for example, pick up a Nuka Cola and put it on that shelf using the regular menu, but I can with OCDecorator so long as I actually have the item somewhere in a workshop anywhere in my network. There's a couple small exceptions, like this beryllium agitator, for example, is a replica. I haven't obtained the beryllium agitator yet. I think that most people probably don't even know what this is, but yeah, if you see a couple things that look maybe out of place, that's because OCDecorator did allow me to go ahead and build them out of some scrap steel. Now, our place is looking a little dim in here. That's okay for me sitting here playing in front of the TV, but I want to go ahead and shed some light on this. One of the other things that I have from the electronics mod is this day-night switch. Now, I do wish that I could program this like I could with the switches from Advanced Settlement Power, but it does allow me to set things up to automatically turn on at night and off during the day. And if I want to have an override switch, I can use a non-AND logic gate. We're going to try and avoid doing tutorials as part of this video. If you're interested in this, I did a video a long time ago, like how to light an entire settlement in under 3 minutes, because this large power conduit is got such a large radius to it that it covers almost the entirety of the Starlight Drive-In area, just being off in the corner here. So yeah, we've got our all lights on a switch. They are on a timer, and we have full control. And let's see, I think I've mentioned we've got our weapons workbench. We've got just some supplies and odds and ends for making weapons. Thought it would be fun to have kind of a secret switch for my arcade game back here. Most people with an arcade cabinet in their house will have a switch kind of like back behind, so that they can turn it off and save power and not have the attract mode like making noise in their living room all the time. So just an extra little thing that I thought would be neat to do. I am not really a fan of Creation Club content. I think that overall the concept is maybe not the best thing, but unfortunately one night while I was intoxicated, I bought a whole bunch of it, and I can't send it back. I can't get a refund. So we're just gonna have to, I guess, use it. I do have a power armor station here. Mary does not have power armor yet, and I'm not sure if she'll ever get it. But in the event that she does, we've got a place that she can work on it. I thought it was fun to set this decon arch up so that I could step on the pressure plate and go through, get a shower, and after I think it was 5 or 10 seconds, the thing turns off automatically. So it's not constantly making noise, constantly, having a mist of spray on my toolbox and my power armor station. It's just on when we need it. I have set up my garage door here with another little gadget to where I can be on either side of it, and no matter what position the door is in, I can open it. That is also based on a little not and logic gate. This is the actual heart of why we're here, is to modify robots. I think that this bench really needed a light, so I added a little light here. And it also just has some odds and ends over here that I thought would be, maybe useful. Building robots, you might need a microscope to look at very small parts. We've also got some circuits and magnets and other odds and ends. Got a power armor display here for if we ever need it. And the computer here is kind of a quality of life thing for me, because being able to turn on a quest marker for my companions is really useful, especially here at Starlight, where I'm stashing all of my unused companions. As for the Nixie light, I just think it looks cool. Oh, we're thirsty, so let's have a drink from the water fountain that is conveniently located outside of the bathroom. Every Nacho Bidness settlement has to have a bathroom. Mary really kind of deserves to have a flushing toilet and some running water, after all. I think that I am going to advance the time a little bit, especially since the weather seems to be rolling in, and we are going to take a look at the second floor at night, because it's not nighttime yet, but yeah, this weather is getting nasty. Back here in a second. Before we take a look at the second floor and the final little bits of gadgetry that we have incorporated into this place, let's just take a brief pan around the outside with the sun gone and the lights on. And I think that this looks pretty good. It looks kind of like a beacon of civilization in the Wasteland out here. Let's go upstairs and check that out. Sorry, Kate, I am busy right now. I will have to talk to you later. So, got ourselves an elevator here, and we can go up to the second floor. Figured an elevator would be nice because hauling furniture and chemistry workbench and other stuff up here would probably be kind of a chore without an elevator. So this is kind of a weird space that I ended up with, and I kind of like it. It's kind of flows inside and out, and this is my weather change gadget. The way this works is there is a switch here that anytime the weather is not clear, so I have it wired up through this logic gate so that it will turn power on to this delayed on switch. The delayed on switch goes through this other switch that I can control manually and finally activates this motor. So I can turn this on and off, and because these weather change shells are expensive to make, and I don't really want this on all the time, so just wanted to have something here for demonstration, something that you might think about for your own settlement. But yeah, if I have this switch on and the weather gets bad, this will automatically launch a weather change shell and make the weather good again. In fact, let's go ahead and demonstrate that, because we've got true storms, and we can pick any weather we want. In this, the reason why I did it this way of running through a logic switch was the electronics mod has several detectors, but it can't detect everything that True Storms offers. But it can detect whenever the weather's not, or whenever the weather is clear. So anything not clear is going to get a weather change shell. So for example, if we get a rad overcast, which is a non-standard weather that is only in the True Storms, we get a launch of a weather change shell and we're back to clear weather. So yeah, I thought that was kind of a fun little thing. If you're interested in that and maybe want a tutorial, let me know in a comment. And in here we've just kind of got a little bit of a lounge area next to our chemistry workbench. I suppose if you're going to make drugs, you might as well have the place for taking them right next to it. We've also got a stove here for cooking up adhesive, mostly it's raw vegetables. I do have a switch over here for my settlement beacon. Currently it's off because I have too many people here at Starlight. I really don't want anymore. But in the event that I decide I want some more settlers here, I can turn this on and recruit some more people. Just got a desk for Mary to maybe do some journaling at, and otherwise do desk stuff. Our chemistry workbench, and finally we do have a turret that we can turn on if things get dangerous, and a little area where we can pop out and shoot in at least this direction. I wasn't really planning for this to be like a super defensible structure, otherwise I might have put like some kind of window or something over here instead of having to hop onto this roof. Anyway, I am really happy with how this whole thing turned out. I am curious what you might think, and I would love to hear your thoughts in a comment. So please let me know. If you like the video, please do hit the like button. If you dislike the video, please tell me why in a comment, because if I don't know what you didn't like, I can't work on improving my content. If you want to see more of this content and you are interested in the No Loot Challenge run, be sure to subscribe. Until next time, my name is Nacho Bidness, and I'm saying it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it.